in our family, we're at a point where me, you, my sister, maybe Mamsi, but I know this would have hurt her the most because she's our mom. Siyakhula.
Yeah.
And when you khula, umuntu nomuntu uba nomndeni wakhe.
Yeah.
And also nomndeni wakho, it means like your
priorities.
Fathers, Uzwelakhe, no Petros, no Simon, they can't hang.
Yeah.
They can't be watching football every week and they living. And I think we're at that point now, and no one ever prepped me for that. And in my head, I'm constantly trying to figure out what that means. Does it mean I check up on you regularly? Does it mean I don't? Does it mean I follow up with Upen? Or is it like, no, this is the time to be organic. If she's not texting you, don't text her. But I'm worried about her. When you're really worried, holler. But let her grow. And then you grow. And maybe that energy you have, check up on your kids. That energy you have, focus on what you're building.
It's such a painful thing when you get to realize, and I'm seeing it before us, I'm seeing it with my kids and the whole co-parenting dynamic. So now I live with my last born and I don't live with my other three
anymore.
And now you have that guilt. I don't know if that makes sense.
Where it's very easy to feel guilty. You failed.
Because I failed. Because you see this one every day and then you don't. So then you try and overcompensate by like video calling every day. But you also don't have the capacity to video call every day. And you're trying to manage all of these things. But while you're trying to manage your kids, you start realizing you're not touching base with your family. And then you're not touching base with your friends. And you're not touching base. And then there's work pressure and there's this and there's that. And you find yourself like lost in your day or the madness of everything. So it's painful when you get to sit back and you go, shit, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I've never been prepared for this. I've never been trained for this, and then you start shitting on yourself and you start feeling low. So yeah, isn't it sure? And it is painful and it's not nice. And I wish we had a better model that we can kind of work off. But ayiko.
So mina now is siyakhuluma. So I guess these are the things we talk about, and it becomes one of the reasons why so many people are like, yo, I watch you and your brother. Thank you, Mas, for teaching me. And you're like, there's no one in your life that's teaching you about being a young man, about girls. There's no one in your life what the fuck is going on in your life? What are you consuming that you have to go and watch your Penson and the journey before someone tells you, as a man, you should watch. Like, yo, thank you so much, bro. You're like,
Yeah.
Una 28 and come on, that's wild.
There's no one teaching us this. We've lost that connection. We really have lost that connection. So we kind of go into this world trying to figure it out. And the sad reality is that there's someone who's experienced your challenges before. You just can't tap into who that person may be. So then you'll end up watching these guys on YouTube, whatever the case may be, to try and find a little bit of alignment to how you feel internally. Kanti, the reality is that there's those people within your family, within your community, we just don't have access to. So year after year after year, I remember I did this video about the matric pass rate. We're going to have, in 2025, we're going to have another 600,000 matriculants in the...
No, I'm listening to you. India matric is another thing that makes my mind glitch.
600,000 matriculants that are going to go into the system and just fizzle out and disappear.
As if we didn't know that they were coming.
And
as if we didn't know that they were fucking coming. Like matric's coming, like Anazi and Saselip and Anazi Nyapi after matric. But
nothing.
Your parents have been there for fucking 12 years. Your teachers were there. What were they doing in grade 7?
Nothing.
They were just, so what's your plan? Now that I'm 18, you're fucking, now?
It's crazy because remember, you go from 1 million in grade 1, I think, if I'm getting it. You go from 1 million people going to grade 1, 600,000 exit in matric.
1.2.
Yeah, 1.2 in grade 1. 600,000 in matric, and only 100,000 seats are available to teach at proper universities. TVET colleges are a piece of pile of crack. And you're like, wait, man, what's going to happen to this 400,000?
What's the plan?
Yeah, like...
What is the government's plan?
And 400,000.
And that's this year.
Yes.
Add about 2023, 2022, 2020.
1996. Sorry.
1996,
Just carry on. Sorry to throw you off.
He finished matric in 96.
Wait,
96,
so
7.
what's up with this 100,000? They are the only people that have seats
capacity.
in
It's
varsity.
capacity.
What, in varsity or...
So think about like the besides UNISA, like EUJ's probably got the best or the biggest, which is sitting at like 12,000 for available for first years.
I'll give you the number, man. I remember they're oversubscribed, but please carry on. I'll get you the number.
But what's happening?
You can talk.
Oh, okay. So like a UJ, let's just say approximately 12,000.
Yeah.
A UKZN is sitting at like 10,000.
Yeah.
First years. If you think about the university I went to, Air Roads, we're sitting at like 1,500 first years.
Yeah.
You know. So when you put it together at, let's say, the top 10 academic or higher institutes of learning, you are sitting with the max 100,000 potential spaces for first years. But of that 100,000, you must understand, which is not just Matric 2024 that's applying for first year. It's also Matric 2023 about upgrade deal, Matric 2022, Matric 2021, Matric that are applying for that same space. And then just because there's space doesn't mean that we can afford to get a seat. Because now people were like, Angzo-Plug, NSFAS. NSFAS doesn't give 100% scholarship to everyone or bursary to everyone. So when you might only get 50% NSFAS for your tuition alone. So imagine you are a first year AUJ and tuition is just, let me just say 50,000 Rand and res is another 50,000 Rand. But NSFAS only gives you 50% for your tuition. Also, it's all 75,000. It's a vela up male. So now that's where you have Tinage as fucking snakes when we see these first year girls that.
You said as snakes.
Snakes. Because I need to uzohlala eBrixton at a commune mos. No sis akazoyithela imali yokuthenga igross asifike ke thina. Siphethe ama braai bag nama noodles.
In McDonald's in Toneta
McFlurry boy. Because again you taking these young girls, these young boys from Newcastle and Nquthu and you're throwing them into a pram. They don't know what's happening, bro. They have no clue what's happening. And they're going there and bahlanganisa. So again, much like the family unit, much like the school unit, much like it's a continuation of just another year of putting more kids into this world, putting more students into the world, putting more that have no fucking idea what's happening, and it's lambs to the slaughter.